I am back because it is almost May, and for the third time I'm going to make some Maynia commitments that I probably won't keep. If you were watching me around this time last year, I didn't make like super specific Maynia plans, but I was very much like, oh, I'm going to start some new things, and like we'll see what happens, and maybe like a project a week, or like if I finish a project, I'll start, I just kind of babbled. And then I just dropped off the face of the Flosstube earth for a while because I was too overwhelmed to know how to talk about StitchCon, and then I just got busy and didn't make a video for 9 months, and that we might be about to repeat that. I don't know. Hopefully not. Let's get into it. So this video, we are going to talk a lot about Maynia and then also minders, because I posted a little top knot pop-up shop this weekend, and so I'm going to show you a little bit of what's going on there. This is not going to be an everyday order of business at the moment, but I was making things for myself, and then I thought I should make things to sell too. So I'll show you a little bit of that, and then I'm going to show you all of the things that I have kitted up and ready to start. And it's probably not going to actually be all of the things, because I'm sure there are some that I'm missing. I also am on a bit of a time crunch, so we're going to try to, book it kind of quickly. But who knows? Today, my fabulous birdie cut my hair. So it is now like this. It used to be like a few inches longer. And then I'm going to see a musical tonight, and so she, styled it for me, and she's amazing. My hair is super, super thick. It doesn't really look like it because it's really fine, but it's very thick. It's very dense. And so it constantly confuses hairstylists because they're like, oh, this is going to be so easy. And then they get into it and they're like, oh, it's tricky. So she did a great job lightening it up at the bottom, so it has lots and lots of movement, and it's nice and light. I'm wearing earrings that my fabulous Mitch Stitch gave me. One is a planet, but basically that's a moon, and one is a star. So thanks, Mitchie. I kind of love that they're asymmetrical, but I also, it's an exercise in flexibility. I don't know. Okay, we gotta keep going. If you're not already, and you care about hair and style and supporting the dreams of people, my fabulous birdie, my roommate, my best friend, my better half, she recently graduated cosmetology school, yay! And is currently interviewing for salon jobs. She seems to be quite the hot ticket, so we're feeling pretty good about job prospects, which is great, but please send prayers and good thoughts and all of that her way. And if you want to follow her and support her journey, I will link her Instagram below. It is hair.by.birdie with an IE. It's wonderful. You'll see some pictures of me on there occasionally. Oh, we didn't take one today. I'll see if we can still get one up. Anyway, she's great. Let's keep going. I recently made up some needle minders that I posted on Instagram. I'm filming this video on Saturday. It will most likely be uploaded on Sunday, and so some will still be available. I don't have an exact timeline for how long I'm going to keep it up. I don't think that every single one is going to sell out. There are a good handful that I only have one of, so there's that. But the moons, which are the main feature, I have many because I love the moon. So I will still have a lot in stock. We'll see how it goes. But thank you so much, those of you who have already purchased one. I'm really excited to, stretch my entrepreneurial skills. All of my finance knowledge and investment knowledge and business knowledge essentially comes from Shark Tank, even though I work in management consulting and there's lots of business stuff that goes on. But anyway, I appreciate all of you very much for your support. Let me show you a little bit of what we've got. We've got the moon. We've got a smaller moon. Wait for it. A little teeny tiny moon. So good. I think I have in total like 8 or 9 different moons. I also have one red one that I forgot to post. But I have one red one left as well. So technically I have 10 different kinds of moons. And those range from $3 to $5 if you're curious. I am, in close business partnership with my buddy Jam. He's locked out right now because I have minders that are in various stages of production, and they're in boxes, like flat tray, like this one, right? And he really likes to sit in boxes, so he just wants to sit in them, so I have him locked out. I'll try to grab him for a special appearance. But Jam, as my, my chief marketing officer, has a little promotion, a promotion of his own. So in every order, we're including a little freebie. Little cats. So if you went to StitchCon last year, you may have received a little cat and needle minder from me. And if you go to StitchCon this year, I'll have some as well. But they're also going out in all orders until supplies won't run out. I have a million of them. But just thought that was a fun little thing. And Jam's been enjoying his extra spotlight, as always. And then let's see. I have a few other... I should have gotten this more organized. I have a few other ones that are posted. I have some Disney. You can see how disorganized my craft space is right now. Okay, I have a few Disney things and a couple other. I have these fabulous Wizard of Oz ones. They're really hard to photograph because it wants to focus on the faces, but it can't figure it out. But Dorothy and the Witch. There's one of Glinda. I think all of these, as of now, are still available. And then I have a couple little Matryoshkas. Oh, so cute. Those are $5. And then I also have some Disney enamel pins. I've got, the witch from Snow White, I think. Bonus points if you know who this is. I'll wait. It's like the Tsum Tsum style Disney. It took me a long time to figure it out. I'll give you a clue. Star Wars. Are you stumped? This is Jabba the Hutt. Which, why would you want a pin? Or, well, I turned it into a needle minder, but, I don't understand it. So if you are a Jabba the Hutt fan, let's talk, and also this is available. So I have a few other Disney ones. And then my newest creation that I'm super, super proud of and really love. Where is... okay. Do that. I have a handful of these really gorgeous. Ooh, so shiny. This is Van Gogh style stained glass. So I've been experimenting. So I have a few of these up, and they turned out kind of small, and so I'm going to be making some larger ones. I love small little, I'm calling them stained glass petites. I love small minders, but sometimes I like big ones too. If I was talented like Diana, I'd be doing this right now. And if you've watched her most recent video, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I love these. They are, I still have 10 or so left, and then I'm going to be hopefully listing some more soon. And, I'm trying to keep them in order. That's about it. There's some more probably that I'm forgetting. There's a few random doodads. So if you're curious, it's all on my Instagram. We're 10 minutes in, guys, so I'm doing great at this whole let's do it quickly thing. My Instagram, topknotstitcher. If you are outside of the US, I love you, but I'm not shipping internationally at the moment. I'm not gonna get into it, but I have too much going on. and that extra step is the thing that would break me. So I know it's not that hard to ship overseas, but it's just hard enough that right now I cannot. But if you're super disappointed by that, leave me a comment, let me know, and then we'll see what we can do in the future. And if you're international but coming to StitchCon, let me know, because then we can work with that. All right, let's move on to Maynia, shall we? Okay. My Maynia plans are a little undetermined because I want to be flexible and ready to start things and work on things as needed for the School of Magical Stitches and Literature. Obviously, they rule my life. So recently we had to post a list of up to 20 WIPs and post pictures of those. And so I put on mine, I think I have like 9, wait, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the list right now. I think I only have 9 current WIPs on that list, and then I have 11 new starts. Excuse me. But then I have another giant stack of probably like 12 to 15 other new starts that are not on that WIP list because it was only up to 20. But that I had ready, like kitted and ready to go, and so I was like, well, if the right opportunity arises, I will start something from this. Especially I want to think about like what I want to take to StitchCon to work on, because I want to have a couple good retreat piece options. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to show you the new starts that are on my school homework WIP list, and then I'll show you the bonus ones. My plan is that through the month of May, I will start new projects as they fit extra credit and regular homework assignments or the yearly challenge. And then, so I'm going to try to start all the things that are on that list, those 11. And then if none of those really fit, then I'll move to the pile of bonus starts and I'll start things from that. And then we're going to go from there. I don't know that I'll necessarily have a new start every single day. I don't necessarily have a goal to start everything by the end of May. I have been kind of like thinning out my stash, so I've gotten rid of quite a few things, including things I had kitted up and thought I wanted to stitch that I changed my mind. But I feel like all these I feel good about, so I do think I want to actually stitch all of them. So I feel fine starting all of them because then they're ready to go. So we're gonna see how that goes. Let's get into it. First, I'm gonna show you something that I started since we last talked because it fit the extra credit assignment stitch on something that was map related, and they expanded it to you could stitch on something that was like a town or a street. And so I started this project, Christmas in the Village by the Scarlet House. And I received this in our gift exchange at our lovely Stitchy Christmas thrown by Olivia and Elena. I stole this from Karen. I'm sorry, Karen. There was not a lot of stealing that went on, and so I felt bad, but I also wanted there to be a little bit more drama. And I really loved this chart. So I am stitching it in a couple of the called for classic colorworks and a couple of the called for weeks, and then some DMC. And I'm stitching it on a random piece of linen that I don't remember where it is or what it's from. It's like 28 or 30 count. But it's just a nice neutral normal linen, and that's what I have so far. Look how cute! So I stitched on this for the extra credit assignment, and then also for this week's homework we had to stitch 300 stitches on trees and other green stuff. So I stitched on the trees, and then 300 stitches on a building. I forget what the prompt was exactly, but whatever it was, these buildings fit. So I'm pretty pleased with my progress so far on that. It's a nice fun little stitch, and I'll get back to it at some point. I'm keeping it in my little Singapore bag from Mitchie. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's one of the 20 on my list. Everything else that's on that list, I think you've seen in some form Oh, except for, well, you have seen this in some form. I recently was going through all of my stitching stuff, and Birdie popped in, and she saw that I had posted, because like I said, I'm trying to just be realistic about what do I like, what do I enjoy stitching on, and what do I want hanging up in my house, because there are a few things that I'm working on or I will be starting that, like, I will either use them as, like, swaps, or I will stitch them but never ever finish it because I don't want to hang it up, but the experience of stitching it brings such joy. So this was a piece that I've been kind of angsting over for a while. This is my Harry Potter baby sampler. It's not called that exactly. It's by Stitchline on Etsy. It's really cute. It's got more of the mascots, and it's got 3 more characters to go and more spells, and maybe like a golden snitch or something, I forget. And it's like cute and great, but I just struggle with it. So I posted on Instagram that it was up for grabs if anyone wanted it, and Heather, Link is my homeboy, Heather is my homegirl, so I'm going to bring that to her at StitchCon for her to adopt. If any of you are interested in this pattern, it's like a few dollars on Etsy from Stitchline, so go for it. It's stitched in DMC. It's really cute and fun. It's just not for me. And I pulled it out for a couple different homework assignments that were like, stitch on something that's been in, whip prison. And I was like, yes. And I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but I didn't enjoy it enough to keep going with it. But I'm really excited that Heather wants to stitch it and that I can give her a half-finished project, because how fun is that? But Birdie came in and was like, "You're not getting rid of your castle, are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I wasn't going to get rid of it, but I didn't have any immediate plans for finishing this." And then she made it very clear that she would like it. So, if you are a Top Knot OG, this was featured heavily back when I first started making videos. This was the first big project that I started when I resumed stitching a few years ago. So this is about halfway done. It's got 4 full pages left, and this is like 3/4 of a page. This is like Hogwarts Castle at night, the boats across the water. It doesn't have as much detail or definition as I would like, but like it's got a cool impressionist vibe. So I got super burnt out on this, and meanwhile had found so many other projects that I loved and wanted to stitch that I put this away and then just like kept being like, nope, I'm good. But Birdie said that she would really like it someday, and so since it's already, if it was not halfway done, almost halfway done, I would probably say no. But it's halfway done. So I put it on my whip list, and I'm going to stitch on it. I have no idea what that list is going to be used for, but this is going to be, for now, that's probably the only time I'll work on this. Maybe I'll fall in love with it again. I don't know. There are some good chunks that are just like solid, 310 or whatever, so you can like outline a chunk and then stitch it. So that might be kind of nice on occasion to just fill in. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, the rest of these are actual new starts. So let's get going. I'm just gonna go through the pile, and most of these I have kitted up from my stash, and so they're using a lot of Color and Cotton and Victorian Motto instead of the called for, because typically called for is like Gast and Weeks and Classic Color Works, which I have some of, but I just kind of pulled what looked good, and I might end up tweaking things as we go along. And some of this fabric I know what it is, and or it was bought specifically for the project. Some of it I acquired in various random ways or ways I don't remember. And sometimes I kept track of what it was, and sometimes I didn't. So I'm just going to tell you that now. First up is Blackbird Designs, Mildred's Garden House. I fell in love with this piece. My grandmother's name was Mildred, and she loved to garden, and I love it so much. I'm going to change, instead of, this says Mildred Larson, I'm going to change it to say the name of our family home, or which this doesn't really look like it, but that's fine. Or possibly just her name. We'll see. But I just, oh, it's so sweet. And so I kitted this up. I have no idea what it started in. Yeah, the typical Gas Weeks Classic Colorworks. But I pulled, I'm not going to read you all of these. If you're really curious, at some point I will reveal all of this. But I just kind of went through and I pulled out colors that looked good. When I convert a piece, I don't know if this is what you do. When I convert a piece, I start by looking, oh, it's going to be so good. This is Vintage Country Mocha. It's my first time stitching on it. I feel like it's, you know, a rite of passage, and how appropriate to do a blackbird piece on it, because that just feels nice and blackbirdy. When I do a color conversion, I don't have the called fors and I'm not going to spend money on them, I'm going to use what I have. I usually start by pulling out the DMC colors that they list, and then looking through my overdyes to see what's closest. And sometimes I'll like Google what the color, like the overdyed color is supposed to be, and kind of check that it like makes sense and everybody fits together. But for the most part, that seems to be a good starting point for combining. So like all of these are kind of in the right vein of the called for colors. So I'm very excited for that. Next up, the Skeleton Mosaic by my dearest Arlene, Works by AVC. I bought this pattern at the trunk show at StitchCon last year, and I have almost started it like 5,000 times, and I just haven't yet, but this is going to be the year, the May. So I am stitching this on my repurposed class schedule Sal fabric, which is Dusk by Picture This Plus. It is gorgeous. And I think I need to do the math again because I don't remember exactly, but I think that I have enough room to stitch it on here without having to rip that out, because I don't really want to deal with ripping it out if I can help it. So I need to double check, but I pulled all Victorian mottos to stitch this in, and I am loving my choices. They look similar to what it's stitched in. Oh! Can you even? I cannot. I want to stitch this right now. But I can't. We have places to go. Next up, I've shown this a lot, I've talked about it a lot, I've thought about it a lot. Finally, I'm going to start it. Sledding Cats by Margaret Sherry. Oh, their cats are so cute. This I am stitching for in the called for colors on a white linen that looks like it's probably 28 or 32 count. And that's all I'm going to show you, because it's just DMC. Yes, into it. Mother Nature, moons, all these bunnies. Like, are you kidding? Of course. This is one of Kathy Barrick's new market releases. I got this from my dearest Trisha 3 Owl Threads. Hit her up if you need a copy. And I decided to just really trust myself. And I'm stitching it on dark fabric, and I'm changing like a lot of stuff. So this fabric was a gift, Stitchy Kindness gift from Corey, the Silent Stitcher, and they sent me this gorgeous blue fabric by Fabrics by LJ. And they also sent me a little sun and moon chart, which I really loved, and then I kept like sitting down to start it and just being like, and I realized like I do love it. It's the moon and the sun. It's wonderful. It was so sweet of them. And I don't think I'm going to stitch it, and so I'm going to pass it on, and I'm going to use the fabric that they sent me instead. So Corey, I hope you're cool with that. It was very much appreciated, and I want to make sure it doesn't just die in a corner somewhere. this piece, I pulled out colors that I thought looked fun and sounded kind of like the called for. I'm really excited. I had to change up some things so that they would pop against the blue, and I'm stoked for it. Ah! That's going to be so fun, right? So it's just a little bit brighter and more whimsical, and then there's another yellow that's in a different project, a different capybaric moon project, because that's basically all I want to stitch. So that will get added in as well. Love it. This one I don't actually have anything to show for it because I just have my working copy of the pattern in here, but I'll just show you real quickly. Ooh, somebody lost their 310. Not that that's going to be hard to replace. Just pop it in. A group of us, some stitchy friends, are doing a little group stitch, and so I have my first ever silk by Silks For You and my first ever Extrude Designs fabric. I'm super excited. This will be a Blackbird Designs piece, and I'll have more to show you and tell you at some point. But that's going to be one of my homework 20. There we go. Next. Guys, I'm so excited for Mania. Like, I was not this excited before, and also I've recently realized how much stuff I have that I want to stitch and want to start. And I'm finally doing it, and it feels great. And with the School of Magical Stitches, like, I stitch so much more. It's so much more energizing to pick up stitching, even if I only have like 20 minutes, because it like counts for something, even though it's fake points in a fake game. But it just really helps because, like, weekends, obviously, I love sitting down and stitching for hours on end. But during the week, I have a really hard time doing that. And it feels like it's this huge task to, like, put down my phone and pick up my stitching, even though I would much rather be stitching. So school helps with that. But it's been really fun to, like, feel great about starting new projects because I'm finishing projects and I'm making progress. And even if I'm not, who cares? Okay, let's keep going. I forget where I put the actual pattern for this because I took it out to make a copy for my working copy. But I think I've showed you before. I'm doing Winter's Wisdom, one of the cottage garden birds. I'm doing it on not weeks. Picture This Plus Dapple, which is not what's called for. I think it calls for something that's like darker and kind of blah. And this is mostly called for or the DMC substitutes. So it's most of the called for weeks. I don't know how, like, is this interesting? I hope so. Fun fact, I bought that pattern and that fabric when I was in Louisville for Christmas visiting my family. Got it at the LNS, the finishing touch. And had a blast picking that out. This I think I've shown recently because I'm keeping it in my Firebird bag. But this is, I also don't have the picture of it anywhere, but I think I've talked about it or something. I'm doing Firebird by Gara. I got my chart from 1884 Stitchery, and I'm stitching it. It's the model shows it on a dark fabric, and I absolutely love it. So I got Shadow by Picture This Plus, 32 count, my current favorite. Oh, surprise moon! Glad I gave myself a moon minder. I need to change it to a Matryoshka probably. Called for DMC. Bright and colorful and fun. Very excited. I can't wait. Because we only have 2 more of our homework starts. No, we don't. We have 3 more. Okay, yes. Next up, I am doing Fractor Flowers, La-Di-Da. Now, this piece is beautiful. I've seen models stitched with some color conversions. I'm doing a color conversion partially inspired by someone I saw on Instagram who I don't remember, but I'll try to find her and give her credit. So I'm doing mine on a piece of Heritage linen by Picture This Plus. So it's not showing up very well, but it's got kind of like a greenish hue to it. And then I am doing, instead of a red vase, I'm doing a blue and teal thing. And instead of a gray bird, he's going to be red, right? Some greens. Maybe, actually, this is going to be one of the base colors. Old Salem Spell. I know you can't really see this all that well, but just trust me that it looks really pretty, and I'm really excited. Really excited to start that story of my life. Can't wait. Yes, 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 yes. I'm keeping that one in one of these little felt envelopes. These are in the Target dollar section. I've only ever seen them around Valentine's Day, so they are not currently there, but I have a nice little collection of them. We're still good. Sorry, my computer just went to sleep. That was rude. It's got a little unicorn, a little chunky unicorn, and I really like them. Okay, next up, I actually have started this one, but like 3 stitches, so it doesn't matter, but this is Eeyore's Problem, but they're playing Pooh Sticks, and it just makes me so happy. So it's just a kit. I'm stitching on the DMC that's included, although since I haven't really started, it's on Ada. There's nothing wrong with Ada. Obviously, stitch what you want to stitch on, but I have found that I really love stitching not on Ada, and I'm thinking right now, I don't love the coverage of, this is on 14 count probably. So I might actually switch that up. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter. And then, anyway, sorry, got distracted. I am starting an Owl Forest pattern, the Sun and Moon sampler, that I also got from 1884. I love this piece. This is one that just comes as the chart. And so I did a little tweaking for the colors. I'm using, this is also greenish, you can't really see. This is Fabric of the Month from Color and Cotton. Yeah. And then I'm using, I think, mostly Victorian Motto, a couple Classic Colorworks that I acquired. It's going to be really pretty. When I started, I'll tell you all the actual colors I'm using, but I'm very pumped. And then I didn't pull it down here, and I guess I didn't even put it on, oh, it is on my list. It's on my list of 20. But I also have the whale kit from Owl Forest, but I'm going to replace the linen that's in the kit, and so I am waiting. I probably will buy it the next time our group goes to Needle in a Haystack, which is not going to be until next month, so it won't technically be a Maynia start, so I might need to sub that out on my list for now. So that's all the new exciting official Maynia dreams, but let's also go through this other pile of potential Maynia dreams. I really thought I'd be done with this by now. I have to go because I'm going to go see the musical Matilda tonight. I love Matilda. I love the book. I love the movie. I love the musical. I love it all. Obviously, the book is the best, but also the movie's really good. I rewatched it this week, and it holds up. And the musical, it's just charming and magical and wonderful. And I'm going with someone who doesn't necessarily have the same, like kindred relationship with Matilda as I do. Like Matilda's she's my girl. But it's still going to be great. They have enough appreciation. It's going to be okay. I saw it when it was touring. The Broadway show was touring in San Francisco a few years ago, and I saw it twice. And this is just like a more local, like upscale local community theater, and I'm super pumped. So I have to hurry and drive there. So I'm going to show you a little bit more quickly what we're doing. Shadow Moon, hands-on design. I also got this at the StitchCon trunk show. I picked up this really cool, funky green fabric, which I think, I want to say it is, I can't remember, moss. Okay, 32 count moss. I'm stitching it with, the moon is going to be in this Colonial Silver by Color and Cotton, and then the rest is like DMC and Anchor, like a dark gray and some orange for the spooky effect, you know. So that's finally going to happen. Years ago, it seems, you can't really tell because it's the pattern. Oh, I'm showing you the pattern. This is a little Harry Catter chart, or kit, and I bought it from, I think, one of the live sales at the Attic, like, years ago, a year ago, but I haven't started it yet, and I would like to. I want to start this little blackwork chickadee that I got from the freebie table at Stitch Shenanigans. I also want to start this little Stone Street Stitchworks Bat Moon that I picked the chart up from the freebie table, and then I pulled out, I think I'm just going to stitch it, in standard, it's actually not DMC. I got a pack of this iris thread. It came with some stuff I bought on eBay, and I don't know anything about it. So if you know about it, let me know, because I have quite a bit. But I don't know if it's like poorer quality than DMC. It looks fine. Colors are nice and vibrant. It's going to be real good for this. Got a scrap of linen in there. We're ready to go. But if you know anything, let me know. I'm really excited for all of the projects I'm showing you now, because you'll see there are a couple big ones in here, but there are a good number of like little and medium projects that I'm excited could, you know, get some serious progress pronto. I got this little iced tea fellow from my roommate at StitchCon last year, and so I finally found perfect fabric for him. I got it on Stash Unload because I can't stay away, and it's this fabulous sparkly blue linen. It didn't come with a name. And then I'm doing some DMC. I'm doing Ship's Manor Iceberg that I think I scored from David at StitchCon last year. And then this is like one of my all-time favorite colors that I've ever gotten from Victorian Motto. It's this deepest blue. You can't really see. It's this fabulous, like, dark, deep, bluish, purple, grayish. It is scrumptious. It lists $9.39, which is like a navy, as the conversion, but it definitely has more of like a purple variegation look to it. Navy purple. I'm so excited. So I'm going to do the cup in that color. Can't wait. This little chart, Plum Cottage Sampler, our little heart and hand chart. I got the chart, the linen, and the buttons from the donation table at StitchCon last year, so I threw in a few bucks. And it is somehow, it's a teeny tiny little design. It is charted with like 12 fancy floss, and I was like, no. So I pulled out, I'm not going to take it all out right now, like 5 or 6 overdyed colors, and I was like, this is enough. And I might add in a little bit more if there's some detail that I can't tell tell from here that I'm missing. But it is like super detailed. But I'm going to stitch that up. I wonder if that's one I could maybe finish in time that I could bring this chart to the freebie table at StitchCon. We'll see. Another little one. This is a little alphabet pumpkin. I forget who sent me this. Diana maybe included this in something that she sent me. So I've got a little bit of leftover brandy, gassed, and you can't really tell, but this is a nice little off-white linen, and that will be real cute and festive. I've been talking about this and teasing you all forever, and I'm just going to tell you, I made a little design. It's a Harry Potter design. It says Accio cookies. It's the best. I know. I had visions of stitching it onto a sweatshirt, and realistically, I have more things that I want to stitch, and I already have a sweatshirt that has stitching on it, so I decided not to do that. But I did make the chart, and I do want to stitch it, so I'm going to do it mostly in a dark, no, that's black. Just kind of as called for, black, and that's for the cookie. When I charted it, I planned for the text to be in this blush color on a dark gray sweatshirt. I'm not doing that, but I just wanted to, we'll see what happens. I don't know. This pattern I have listed in the latest entrepreneurial venture, which is not just my Instagram sales, but I do have and have had secretly, not so secretly for a while, a little shop on Etsy, the Topknotstitcher shop. I'll put a link below. I have a few PDF charts of things that I've like charted as gifts for other people. And then was like, well, I might as well offer it to the world. So they're like, you know, $2 or $3 a piece. And then I have a few needle minders on there as well. So check it out if you are so inclined. It feels scary to finally tell you all explicitly. I've had the link in lots of places. But yeah, let me know if you, or don't, I don't know. But if you also love cookies, then obviously we should talk. Sorry, this is Crinkle Crinkle. So I think this might be a StitchCon piece because it is on Lugana. It's like a super simple design and will be just like easy to see, easy to work with. Okay, a few more, and then we really have to go. Plum Street Samplers, Olga, is this little cat. I pulled some DMC and Anchor and like whatever kind of looked like it seemed like the right color. Some random fabric. I'm excited. I am not going to make that cat look like jam, but I might change my mind. I am not stitching, I haven't started this yet, but I am in love with this series from Michael Powell, The Secret Garden. So I have Secret Garden 1, which is this big one here. This is a different one. Mitchie is doing, I think that she's doing a Secret Garden piece. I forget which one she's doing. I need to find out, but I would love to start that. I can finish it for like 15 years. And then, I think I've showed this before too. Let me find where the picture is. I pulled this out of Cross Stitcher November 2017. It's this really fun, it doesn't have, oh, Star of Wonder is the title. So isn't that pretty? I just love it. I realized just recently that it has all this cool black work at this bottom part here. That's cool. I'm just really excited. It's super colorful and fun. If you look really closely, there's a little manger scene right there. It's just, it's pretty. So I got some charcoal linen. That's just a few of the called for colors because all the colors are, like I have the DMC colors, but they're in other projects and it seemed easier to just track them down as I need to once I start it. Okay, we're almost done. Gonna do this little Star of Wonder. Oh! No, this is not Star of Wonder. That was Star of Wonder. This is a star, Dancing in the Night. This is a chart that I got from my mom. Sorry, I'm covering up the designer. That's with the post-it that says, give this back to Mom. Sebi's Designs. And so I just have some scrap fabric. I haven't decided which color I'm going to use. And Summer Meadow by Gast. And then last but certainly not least, because I definitely have other stuff that's kitted or partially kitted or will soon be kitted up and will go into this bucket. But I have this little Prairie Fairy, Prairie Schooler chart, this little fairy riding a crow. I'll be stitching it on a random piece of linen with some black crow and the called for DMCs, and then sending this chart to my girl Mare Bear. That's it. I have to go. I love you all. Check out Minders if you want to. Let me know what your mania is looking like. Like I said, I have no idea. I don't even know how many charts that was. I know I have, like, what, I said 10 new starts from my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's another, wait, 9, 10. That's another 14. So that's 24. I could definitely get to 31. I just don't know if I want to. But that's it for now. I will talk to you sometime soon. Hit me up if you're going to StitchCon or New Jersey. And I will see you all next time. Bye!